Hi, I'm Dinah from Sweden, and I've got a story to tell you from many years ago about the weirdest parents ever. I didn't have the internet back then to keep me company, and I was just stuck with them. Before I continue, please like and subscribe. I never knew what my dad did for a living, but I knew he was a weirdo and a liar. And Mom, she was worse. We would only leave the house at night and never together. It was either me and Mom or me and Dad, and we never had any visitors. Dad always said it was safer that way, whatever that meant. I used to call myself an only child, although I had a sister. Her name was Maria. She was 2 years older than me, and she never left her room, and I was never allowed to go near her. Whenever I told Mom I wanted to see Maria, she'd get annoyed. How many times do I have to tell you? She doesn't want to see anyone. I knew Mom was a crazy liar. Of course my sister would want to see me. Eventually, I just stopped asking to see Maria. It was useless. Once I started school, my parents told me to even lie about who I was. They gave me a different name to tell everyone, Jane. Now remember, talk less and listen more. In fact, if you could act like you're mute, that would be perfect. Yes, Mom, I'll do exactly that. I only had one friend named Hope, and she was nice and really talkative. Once when we were in 4th grade, she said, "So Jane, why don't you ever talk about your family? You never asked." "Okay, I'm asking now. What's your family like?" "Oh, you won't believe it. They're weirdos. Dad never lets us go outside, and we never have any visitors, except some strange men he brings sometimes. And Mom, she's insane. She does whatever Dad tells her to do. Also, I have a sister, but I kinda don't have a sister. How to explain this? Okay, let me start from the beginning." And I told her every single thing about my weird family. And the next day, Hope was gone. I asked the teacher about her, and she said that she and her family had moved to another city. I was furious. That day, I screamed at my parents and blamed them for sending Hope away. They acted all innocent and said they had nothing to do with it, but I didn't believe them one bit. I didn't talk to them for days, until one night, I sneaked into the lounge and found my parents watching TV. The news channel was showing a picture of my dad with big words on the screen like liar, hypocrite, and fraud. And even worse, my picture and my mom's were also being shown. I knew it! You're an evil man, a criminal. Finally, everyone knows who you really are, and they'll take me away. Me and my sister will be free. Mom came running to me and picked me up and took me to my room. Put me down! Pack your things, Dinah. We're leaving. What? Where? Why? There's no time for questions. I'm not doing anything you say. I slammed the door behind Mom and locked it. I climbed into my bed feeling furious, and after some time, I dozed off. And when I woke up, I was in a different room. Apparently, we had moved to another city. I was so pissed at my parents. But at least I'd go to a new school now and have new friends that I could tell everything to. But one night, Dad came to my room with a gift. "This doll is for you, baby." I'm too old for dolls, Dad. Do you even know how old I am? "Well, we have the entire year to know each other because I've decided to homeschool you." What? There's no way that's gonna happen. Dad ignored me, but I was determined not to be homeschooled. Whenever they tried to teach me, I'd come up with some excuse. Nope, I'm sick. My eyebrows are hurting. Ugh, I had a bad dream that a chicken ate me. I'm still not over it. Try tomorrow. And it kept going on like that for a year until my parents gave up. Dinah, you can join school now and even use your real name. You mean my real name? And everyone would know I'm your daughter? Yes, honey, exactly. You guys are awful. I saw Dad on TV. Now that everyone knows he's evil, you want people to know that I'm your daughter? No way. I'm not falling for your games again. You're gonna give me a fake name, you hear me? No, your dad isn't a bad person, Dinah. It was all a big misunderstanding, and it's cleared now. Don't defend him. I don't believe you. Don't believe us, but you're still going with your real name. Fine, but I'm not showing anyone my face then. I'm gonna wear a mask and a hoodie, and no one will ever know who I am. That's not going to happen. I didn't ask for permission. I'm done listening to you guys. I'm going to school, and I'm wearing a mask. Period. My parents didn't argue with me anymore, and they just left the room. And the next day, I wore a hoodie and a mask and went to school. Everyone was staring at me, but I didn't care. When the teacher asked me to introduce myself, I ignored her and went to sit at the back. And I noticed after some time that the girl next to me was constantly looking at me. Can you stop staring, please? You're making me uncomfortable. Well, you're making me uncomfortable. But I gotta say, the mask idea is genius. It's the perfect way to hide your ugly face. but I'm sure you're not uglier than me. I should wear a mask too. I'm not ugly, and neither are you. Oh, come on. You're a liar too? Look at my nostrils. They're so wide you can see my brain. And penguins have better teeth than mine. And this dent in my chin, it looks like I have a butt on my face. My eyebrows are like a bridge over my eyes. Giraffes are competing with me for the longest neck. And see this Oh, God, stop talking. Why do you hate your face so much? It's not that bad. Yeah, it is. I have 6 sisters, and I'm the ugliest. Yeah, they told me. They're all beautiful like models, while me, not even close. I mean, look at my legs. My calves are like tree trunks, and my nails, I bite them and chew them sometimes. They don't taste that bad. The point is, my hands are the ugliest. Please, stop talking. I'm not used to someone who talks a lot. Why? No one talks to you? What about your family? Are they dead? Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm such an idiot. My sisters say that too. No, they're not dead. Can you please stay quiet unless I ask you something? So, you're not going to tell me about your family, huh? I told you everything about myself. Also, you expect me to shut up so I won't annoy your majesty? Who do you think you are? You're just a weirdo with a mask. I didn't mean to upset you. Listen, I'll tell you everything once I trust you. Why can't you trust me now? I just need some time, okay? Fine. I trust all people, especially the weird ones. But whatever. Oh my God. Her name was Nastya, and she was nuts. But at least she was helpful. She gave me a tour of the school and helped me get familiar with everything. But she wouldn't stop introducing me to everyone. Hey guys, this is Dinah. She doesn't like talking about her family. Weird, right? And I still don't know anything about the mask. And no, she says she's not ugly. I knew there was no use asking her to shut up, so I just waved to the kids and kept walking. Nastya and I got closer over the coming weeks, and I started to trust her a little bit. But that was a mistake. One day, we were walking down the hallway when we saw a group of girls coming towards us, and Nastya freaked out. Oh my God, that's Eva! Before I could ask her who that was, Nastya got down on her knees and held Eva's hand. How are you today, our princess? How was your trip? Oh, get up, Nastya. You're pathetic. I just saw you this morning, and you asked the same questions, and I ignored you. Can't you take a hint? And who is this weirdo? That's Dinah, my best friend. She's at your service. She likes you so much. No, she adores you. No, I don't. I don't even know who she is. And she doesn't seem very nice. Oh, we have a brave one here. That's a lot of nerve for someone who covers their face. Let me guess. You're the school bully. Gotcha. Nastya, let's go. We don't have time for this. I started walking away, but Nastya didn't move. I don't think you understand how things work around here. Everyone does what Eva says. Girls, catch her and take her to the bathroom. You too, Nastya. Now. The girls started approaching me, including Nastya. I couldn't believe it. No, Nastya, are you crazy? You're my friend. But as she kept coming closer with a cold face, I suddenly slapped her hard. Just then a teacher came into the hallway and Eva whistled to the girls and they all backed off and followed her, like they were her pets. And I couldn't believe that the only person I trusted a bit turned out to be as terrible as my parents. I was never going to talk to Nastya again. But I had a bigger problem right now. Eva. It looked like I'd made an enemy out of the most feared girl in school. I found out from some kids that she was 2 years older than me, and she could make or break your life here. And she was untouchable. Eva has perfect grades and perfect manners in class, and the teachers worship her. She never gets into trouble. She put stolen exam papers in my sister's locker and got her expelled just because my sister refused to do her homework. My best friend is in therapy because of how much Eva hurt her. Jeez, this girl seemed like a monster. And now, I was wondering what she'd do to me. The next day when Nastya walked into the classroom, I almost fell off my seat. She was wearing an avocado-shaped outfit with 2 horns on her head. Everyone was laughing as she sat down. What are you staring at? Why are you wearing that? What? You're the only one allowed to look weird? I don't care, dude. Be as weird as you like. It's not like we're friends. Why was I even talking to her? And Nastya didn't take off that ugly outfit for days. But then one day I was in the bathroom stalls when I heard some voices outside. Eva, I've been wearing this for 4 days and it's itchy. Can't I take it off now? A deal's a deal, loser. You begged me not to hurt Dinah, and I said I'd leave her alone if you wore the outfit for a week. Now stop whining or else. Wait, Eva hadn't hurt me because of what Nastya did? I peeked out the door to see Eva leaving, and then I came out. you've been wearing this ridiculous costume for me? Why are you doing this? You don't have to be so afraid of that witch, Nastya. I'm not. That's because you don't know her, Dinah. She's my sister. I have to do what she says, or she'll make me miserable. She's already making you miserable, can't you see? You can't live like a coward. Coward? Says the girl who can't show her real face to anyone. And if you had a sister, you'd understand. I do. Do what? I have a sister. I don't know what happened, but the moment I said the word sister, I broke down and started crying like crazy. And I told Nastya everything, but I made sure not to mention my parents' names. When I was done, Nastya didn't say anything. She just hugged me tight. Despite my protests, Nastya wore the outfit for the whole week, and we started hanging out again. Eva seemed to keep her distance, but I didn't trust her one bit. A few days later, Nastya came running to me excitedly at recess. Oh my God, Dinah, you won't believe this. You know that cute jock Peter I have a crush on? The one in Eva's class? I saw him putting this note in my locker. Pinch me or punch me. I think I'm dreaming. I saw the note, and he'd asked her out to the Valentine's Day dance. You saw him put this there? With my own ugly eyes? No, my eyes must be beautiful if Peter likes me. But Nastya, has he ever even talked to you before? Why is he suddenly asking you out? What's your point, Dinah? I mean, what if this is a prank? What if Eva planned it? And suddenly, Nastya looked mad. Gosh, you really can't trust anyone, can you? And basically what you're saying is, why would someone like Peter ask out someone like me, right? No, that's not what I said. You didn't have to. I'm not as stupid as I look. You're no better than my sisters. And before I could reply, Nastya ran away tearfully. I tried talking to her the next few days, but she just acted like I was invisible. I had no plans to go to the Valentine's Day dance. I didn't even have a date. But my gut feeling kept telling me something about the whole Peter thing was off. So an hour before the party, I decided to go. And when I got there, it was worse than I'd feared. I saw Nastya walking up to Peter and tapping him on the shoulder. He turned around and burst out laughing.
Well, hello, Nastya. I didn't know this was a party for clowns.
I didn't get the joke. Sorry, my sisters say I'm dumb.
Girl, what's wrong with your makeup? Did you do it sitting on a roller coaster in the dark?
No, my sister Eva did it.
You're kidding, right? Eva always looks perfect. And you look like a mess.
That's no way to talk to your date, dude.
Date? Are you out of your mind? I'm here with Eva, loser.
I'd heard enough. I ran forward and punched Peter in the face. Shut up, you jerk. Don't talk to my friend like that. Just as I took Nastya's hand to get her out of there, I heard Eva whistle, and her friends grabbed me. Oh, Dinah, you're about to find out how stupid it is to mess with me. But I really want to see your face before I teach you a lesson. With that, Eva leapt forward and snatched my mask off. But suddenly, she screamed in pain. Ow! Nastya, let go, you psycho! Nastya had jumped onto Eva and was pulling her hair so hard, I thought she'd take them right off her scalp. Her minions ran to help Eva, but Nastya wasn't backing off. I am a psycho. Don't mess with me or Dinah, or I swear, Eva, I'll chop your hair off in your sleep. I'll find the fattest rats and set them loose in your room. I'll switch all your Diet Coke with regular Coke so you'll get fat. I won't stop until you're as miserable as you've made me. Suddenly, the other kids started cheering for Nastya and pushed Eva's minions away. And Eva looked furious. She screamed as everyone booed her and stormed off with her gang. I hugged Nastya tight, and suddenly, she gasped. Dinah? That's the first time I'm seeing your face. Wow, you're gorgeous. Oh God, in all the chaos, I'd forgotten my mask was off. And now everyone had seen me, and they were giving me compliments about how pretty I was. And then I heard the dreadful words.
Wait a second, I know your dad. He was the famous politician who was accused of stealing public funds. We saw him all over the news.
What? Dad was a politician? And he was a thief? No. You're confusing me with someone else. My dad isn't a thief.
No, it's you. I saw the pictures too. And yeah, of course he's not a thief. Your dad is an honest, kind man. Everyone knows he was proved innocent.
Yeah, he helped a lot of people, including my cousins. He must be like a hero to you. What in the world? So my dad was actually a good man? I was so shocked and I couldn't breathe. I just ran away and Nastya followed me. I went straight back home to confront my parents.
You're not wearing your mask.
Just tell me one thing. People are saying you used to be a politician, Dad. A very kind one. Is that true?
Yes, honey. We tried telling you he was a good man, but you never listened.
Why didn't you tell me the truth from the start? Why did you treat me badly?
Sweetheart, we never meant to treat you that way. There were many people who wanted to hurt me while you were growing up, and we thought the less you knew, the less danger you'd be in. We're sorry we didn't tell you the truth. We just didn't want to scare you.
What about my sister? I want to see her, now! My parents looked at each other and then led me to her room. I saw her for the first time lying on her bed, sleeping peacefully.
She's been in a coma for years. We were wrong to keep this a secret, but we didn't want you to feel sad about her. We're sorry for all of this, Dinah. We love you so much.
She's so beautiful, just like you. I turned around to see Nastya and I hugged her. Guys, I think it's time for you to hug your daughter. Such weirdos. My parents joined our hug and I whispered, I'm sorry.
It's okay. We love you.
I love you too. I love you 3. Cheesy, but who cares?
Sarah, stop your noise. Your brother is trying to watch cartoons. My mother screamed while I tried to practice the piano. I need to rehearse. I have a concert soon, I replied. If you don't stop right now, I'm going to destroy that stupid thing. Roy is watching his favorite show, she said. Yeah, Sarah, shut up, Roy whined. Roy was 8 years old, and although he was disgusting, my parents considered him to be their prized possession. He was loud, obnoxious, untidy, and the worst student in his class. And all he did was eat, watch cartoons, and play football. He also smelled horrible. On the other hand, I was the best 15-year-old daughter anyone could ask for. I was a straight A student and at the top of all my classes, even gym. I was the president of the student government and the head of the robotics team, as well as the school's orchestra. My teachers adored me, and I'm pretty sure that all my friends' parents wished their kids were as perfect as me. I stopped playing my piano and decided to study for a math quiz the next day. Suddenly, Roy barged into my room. What are you doing, stupid? He asked. I'm studying for a test. Go away, I replied. He grabbed my calculator, threw it on the floor, and stepped on it. What are you doing, Roy? I need that. You're so annoying, I screamed. I pushed him off the calculator, grabbed his arm, and shoved him out of my room. I locked the door and tried to continue studying. A few minutes later, both my mom and dad banged on my door. Sarah, this is unacceptable. How could you treat your brother so horribly? Open the door, said my dad. I opened the door. I was trying to study and he threw my calculator on the floor. I had to put him outside so I could continue working, I told them. You are a terrible sister and the worst example for Roy. I'm sure he was only trying to help. You're grounded, and I'm taking away your phone for a month, my mother screamed. It was no use replying. They had done this to me countless times. I never understood why they cared about Roy so much, but treated me like I was nothing. The next day after school, I went to my robotics meeting feeling depressed. My closest friend, Brian, noticed right away. Why are you looking so sad? He asked. I explained the situation with my parents and told him how I felt, that they'd never appreciate or care about me. I have an idea, said Brian. What? I replied. Sometimes when my mom makes me angry, I leave home and I don't come back for a few hours. When I come back, she practically worships me. The trick is to make your parents very worried, he said. If I left the house, my parents wouldn't care. Trust me. They probably wouldn't even care if I got kidnapped. I sighed. Hey, now that's a brilliant idea. Why don't we fake your kidnapping? My brother and his friends could help. We just need to have a plan. Brian's eyes lit up as he spoke. He loved solving problems. Well, I suppose I could give it a shot, I said. That afternoon, we went to meet his brother's friends at his house around the block. They all stood around the front porch drinking and smoking. They definitely didn't look like my typical crowd. I felt a bit scared. Are you sure this is a good idea? I asked Brian. Don't worry, he replied. Is my brother around? He asked one of the guys. They invited us inside where Brian's brother was waiting. Hi, I'm Eli, he said, and this is Alan. He pointed to a guy who was sitting nearby. He made eye contact, and I quickly looked away because he made me nervous. Anyway, Brian explained his idea. Eli spoke to a few of his friends, and they all agreed that they could pull it off. All they wanted in return was $300. This was all the money I had saved, but I decided that if they could get my parents to love me, it'd be worth it. See you tomorrow night, Eli said as we left. Everything had been arranged. The next day, I couldn't wait. When the evening finally came, I was so excited that it all happened in a flash. We were all seated around the dinner table. Roy was served first, and he was given the best of everything. "Can I have some more chicken?" I asked. "No, Roy might want another piece. Stop being selfish," my mom replied. "But there are 4 pieces left," I replied. Suddenly, we heard a crash in the living room. 4 masked men with guns walked into the dining room. "Nobody move," one of them shouted, and I recognized his voice as Eli's. They tied my family to their chairs. My mom was crying and my little brother was screaming. My father looked angry. "Look, just take whatever you want, but please don't hurt us. My money is in my briefcase over there," he said, while pointing. "That was fun, wasn't it?" one of them said. They sped off and parked in front of Eli's house. "You'll just have to wait here and we'll see what happens," said Eli. When I got inside, Brian was waiting and talking to the cute guy who made me nervous the day before. "Hey, Sarah," Brian shouted. "How did it go? Tell me everything," he said. I sat next to them and told them about the whole experience. Everyone was laughing. Someone turned on the music and we ordered pizza. I felt amazing. I was here having the time of my life while my parents were at home terrified about what might be happening to me. I imagined my new life at home. My mom and dad would worship the ground I walked on. I would finally get the recognition I deserved for being the perfect daughter. I'd be able to do what I wanted and they'd give me everything I asked for. Most importantly, they'd make me feel like I was loved. If I was lucky, maybe they'd even realize how rotten Roy was and put him up for adoption. I figured I would hide out at Eli's house for about 2 days and then return home and tell them I escaped. Then they'd feel even prouder of me for being clever enough to outsmart a bunch of heavily armed and dangerous bandits. As the night continued, Alan and I became more comfortable with each other. Brian realized what was going on and gave us some space. We spoke a lot, and I learned a lot about him. He was 17 years old, and he lived alone with his older sister. His parents moved away when they were younger, and he hasn't seen them since. "You know, you're one of the prettiest girls I've ever seen. Can I have your number?" he said. Thanks. Nobody has ever really said that before. My mom took my phone, though. "I don't have it," I replied. The butterflies in my stomach fluttered. "They're really that mean to you, huh? Well, it's okay. I have an extra one. I'll just give it to you." He chuckled. He went into another room and came back with a brand new iPhone SE. "Here, take it. It's for you," he said. "Whoa, this is really expensive. And it's new, too. I can't accept such an expensive gift," I gasped. Then he asked me to sit down and explain that valuable people deserve valuable things. He eventually persuaded me into accepting it. I had only known him for a little while, but I felt so comfortable with him. And yes, maybe my love language is gifts. I slept on the couch that night, and I woke up to a lovely breakfast. "Good morning, beautiful. I didn't go home last night because I didn't want to leave you alone. I watched you sleep, and then I decided to make you breakfast. I hope you like it," said Alan. Eli was still in his room sleeping. "I also went to the store to get you a few things to wear. I noticed you didn't have anything to change into, and you have to wait here for another day. Don't worry, I washed them already so they're clean," he said. I couldn't believe that such a kind person existed, although I was still wary because I didn't know him very well. I ate breakfast, showered, and changed into my new clothes. After we spoke for a while, Eli walked into the room. "Sarah, turn on the television. Brian just called to tell me that your family is on the news," he said. I turned on the television, and there they were. My mother looked worried, and my father looked like a frightened animal. "Ha ha ha," I thought while grinning. The interviewer asked, "So can you tell us exactly what happened last night?" 4 bandits broke in while I was having dinner with my husband and my son. They screamed at us and tied us to our chairs. I was so afraid. They stole some money, a television, and my son's PlayStation. He's been crying all day because it's his favorite thing. We were terrified. They didn't even untie one of us before they left. We had to scream until the neighbors heard us and came to our rescue," my mother said before bursting into tears. "But we are thankful for our lives and that we are all safe," she added. "Would you like to say anything?" the interviewer said to my dad. "I'd just like the bandits to understand that my son is very sad right now. You stole his favorite game, and he is devastated now. You should all be ashamed of yourselves," he said. I could not believe my ears. Not only did they not care about me, but they lied. Eli and his friends hadn't stolen a thing. I was so angry that I turned off the television and ran outside crying. My plan had achieved the opposite effect. They felt like they had finally finally gotten rid of me, and this is what they always wanted. Now they could have their perfect life with their son. They did not even care that I was missing. They did not care that I could have been hurt or killed. I sat in the grass and buried my head in my hands. After a while, Alan came and sat by my side. Hey, don't be sad. You're great, and one day they'll regret treating you like this. Why don't you move in with me and my sister? Could I really move in with a stranger? I thought. I realized that this stranger had treated me better than my own family ever did. That night, I went back home, packed a bag of my most valuable things, and gave my parents a piece of my mind. I let them know that they were the worst parents in the universe, and I hoped that they'd someday face the consequences of their horrible actions. I slammed the door as I walked out and never looked back.